The Seneca Dragonfly multi-pump pneumatic pellet rifle operates by means of a pump lever assembly that attaches to a piston rod. This is called the pump mechanism. Each time the pump mechanism is employed, it engages a piston assembly which compresses a small amount of air into an air reservoir. The number of pumps executed by the user determines the amount of air stored in the air reservoir. The amount of air stored then determines the power output of the air rifle. Operating the Dragonfly is done in the following steps, beginning with lifting the bolts and pulling back. Doing so opens the breech and engages the trigger sear. These actions complete the cocking sequence. Before beginning to operate the pump mechanism, the user should engage the manual safety if it is not already engaged. Pulling the pump handle forward to its maximum angle and then pulling back to its original position creates the first pump. The Dragonfly can be pumped up to 8 times for maximum power. Once pumping is completed and the breech open, either a single projectile or a magazine that allows for multiple projectiles can be inserted. After insertion is completed, the bolt handle is then pushed forward and down, thus loading a pellet into the barrel and making the rifle ready to fire. To complete the firing process, the user disengages the safety, takes aim, and pulls the trigger. The Seneca Dragonfly employs a single-stage, non-adjustable trigger. Pulling the trigger disengages the sear, allowing the compressed air to escape from the firing valve, propelling the projectile from the barrel. The Seneca Dragonfly pellet rifle employs a single-stage, non-adjustable trigger. The trigger is held by a spring and sear. Pulling the trigger releases the sear, initiating the firing sequence. The Seneca Dragonfly pellet rifle employs a manual crossbolt safety. It is mechanically designed to serve as a button. Lateral force exerted on the button to either the right or left blocks or unblocks the trigger mechanism. When the button is slid to where no red coloring is showing, the trigger mechanism is blocked. When the button is slid exposing the red coloring, the trigger is unblocked.